RETROSAURUS with Oli and Kev.
This is Oli and Kev, the George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley of retro podcasts. I think that's what they call us, isn't it?
But yeah, we have slightly less hair than they did, of course.
I think maybe you're the George Michael, I'm the Andrew Ridgeley. I don't know. It's a toss-up. I'm not sure.
We would be the Andrew Ridgeley and George Michael of back hair.
Well, what are we doing this week? We've got to be up for this. It is Wham.
Absolutely. In particular, Fantastic, which was Wham's first studio album, released on July 9th in 1983, recorded in London, including the singles Wham Rap, Enjoy What You Do.
Oh, yeah. Well, who doesn't? Who doesn't enjoy what they do? And by the way, Kev has that memorized. That wasn't anything you just got off Wikipedia. He knew that exactly.
Young Guns, Go For It. You know,
yes.
So if you really didn't feel like getting up in the morning or anything like that for a gunslinging match, Wham are here to remind you to go for it. Bad Boys.
Yes.
You know, as you can tell, I don't know if you saw the front cover, but they do look like bad boys.
I do, and I did actually look at the music video of that one as well, which we do need to talk about. It's important.
Indeed. And last but not least, Club Tropicana, which has always been my personal favorite.
Yes, very good, very good. Some very interesting imagery there as well on the videos. But yes, some great lyrics.
Can you give us an example?
The Club Tropicana drinks are free. I think we all know that one. And my question is, what's happening to the bar in that situation? I'm suggesting they're going bankrupt if they're giving away drinks for free. Not a very good business proposition. It's probably why that bar doesn't exist anymore, I would say.
Absolutely. That's the thing about these things is they all seem so exotic, but
they do.
If you put them into practice, it's probably just a club full of mingers, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Club Tropicana is probably in Slough somewhere, and it's just like, it's not very nice.
Oh dear.
And the drinks are not free. And the beers are watered down, and the cocktails are very sad. So no,
club disappointing, really, isn't it?
Disappointment, yeah, exactly.
Bad Boys. They are not bad boys. First of all,
even for the time, the day and age, were they bad boys?
Not at all. I mean, they may be bad, but they may have been bad boys in a gay bar or something. But even then, quite frankly, I think they would easily have got beaten up by even the queerest of queers, really. But anyway,
But stick together. Bad boys stick together. Well, why? Was there a lot of Velcro going on in the 80s? Was people sticking together like that? I don't really understand. Why do they stick together? I'm not sure about that.
Well, it could be. It could be a sort of unsafe sex thing as well.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it potentially is.
Or I don't know, some Vaseline that they bought from a disreputable vendor. Their definition of bad is not good.
It's not good. No, and he pushed some other kid as well, or something out of the way. I don't know if that's supposed to be Andrew Ridgeley, but they later on, get together. I'm not entirely sure, but.
He did a lot of prancing around in his father's living room at this point.
He did. And then all of a sudden he's 19 and handsome and tall and strong.
Okay, and what did you make of that?
It's a massive jump, isn't it? Massive jump to that. And then he was getting very aggressive with his parents, wasn't he? And they didn't like him staying out, but he's going to be big enough to break down the door. It's over the top, isn't it?
Like the Hulk.
Yeah, like the Hulk. Yeah,
I think it's a bit cocky, don't you think? I'm handsome, tall, and strong. Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
he's a bit full of himself, isn't he? I think if I was his parents, I would just ground him for a week.
Well, maybe they did, but they've got no doors left. That's the problem. He's down. They can't ground him. They've got no doors left.
Yeah, exactly. God, I bet their house looks like the Addams family or something like that.
Do you think being a bad boy is good advice? That's the question from George Michael, from Wham.
No, not at all. Not the way they do it. What on earth is that name? Wham. And why the exclamation mark at the end?
Yeah, well, Wham, isn't it? You've got to say it like that, I guess. It's an over-the-top thing, isn't it?
Probably a lot of bands at the time had names like that, right? Like one
Not many
word.
of exclamation marks at the end.
And indeed.
That's quite like a shout. You're supposed to shout it, really, but no one's going to do that, really.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe they're just into punctuation or something.
Maybe they're massive into that. Yeah.
Closet intellectuals.
Yeah, well, definitely.
I doubt it. And also, has this got anything to do with Wham bars? Do you remember them?
No, go on.
You don't remember Wham bars?
I don't remember Wham bars. That rings a bell.
Well,
what were they? What had in them?
It was like, you used to get like a chew.
Yeah. I know
and
chew.
Yeah, I used to get Incredible Hulk ones, I remember. And I thought they were brilliant. The Wham bar was basically this flat piece of toffee that was purple, pink. And in it had like tongue fizzing green chunks.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, sort of. And it was a whole space age thing. I think it had like a sort of picture of something that looked like the Mekon on it, this green head, or that guy off the Wrath of Khan. I'm sure it had something like that on it.
Or Ming the Merciless.
Yeah. Right. And what was great about it was, you had to chew it for hours and hours. And it was the only sweet that would be guaranteed to stay in your teeth long after you were dead.
That's quite a selling point. I'm sure the British Dental Association must have been really happy with that one.
Kids loved it, but it had there was no association with Wham exclamation mark at all.
No.
Wham bar was much cooler, in all honesty.
Well, maybe they just thought, Wham, like, look at us. Wham, look at us. We're here.
I have a theory that it might be something to do with like a sort of prelude to the story that I heard about George Michael driving his Land Rover into a jeweler's shop window in Hampstead. I don't know if you heard that story.
Of course, yeah. I actually thought it was a camera shop. I thought it was a Jessop's.
Oh, is that what it was?
A jewelry store.
But that could have been, like Wham, like he knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's possible. Or he could have taken it from that whole saying, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And maybe that was going to be the next, wham, and then there was going to be a bam, and then a thank you, and then, a man rather than a man at the end, maybe.
I mean, he could have been driving the Land Rover, careering towards the shop window, wham, on the brakes, bam, into the shop window, and then he gets out the car and goes, I am a man. And the shop owner's like, I don't give a fuck who you are, but we're going to call the police.
Yeah, you've just crashed into my window here. What's going on?
Exactly. Pop star or no pop star, that's out of order.
It is. It's bang out of order.
It's bang out of order. Oh, dear.
Do you think, I mean, to be fair, I think it is quite true that people are attracted to bad boys, though, let's face it. That's a truthful thing.
Yeah. I mean, to a point.
Not them. They're not really bad boys. But if they were bad boys.
Pepsi and Shirley, who are like the beards.
Yes, definitely.
Right.
Although, was Andrew Ridgeley, I don't think Andrew Ridgeley was a friend of Dorothy, was he? It was just George Michael, wasn't it?
But it doesn't matter because he's involved.
He's involved. He is involved, definitely. But yes, I agree with you. The beards. That's cool. I think that's an appropriate term. Yeah,
just by being there, it's already suspect. It's pretty suspect anyway.
Yeah, it's suspect.
I mean, no matter how you dress it up. So there's, Pepsi and Shirley are the beards, right?
Yeah.
But it's not them singing.
Oh, is it not?
Some woman from Detroit.
Okay.
It is. There's this mama from Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Who was apparently pissed off because she wasn't involved in it and probably got no money or something like that. And then, so halfway through the song, she goes, boys like you are bad through and through. Still, girls like me always seem to be with you.
I remember that specifically in the video as well, because she's sitting in between them in a car. And it's a bit weird. So was that Pepsi or Shirley or that was doing?
That was the mama from Detroit, or as I'm.
Oh, really? In the video as well? But it wasn't. She wasn't in the video.
No, it was. Oh, I don't know. They were that. Here's the thing: slutty, milfy, scary Detroit woman,
right?
Going with you.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah,
they're all using her voice, that old milfy voice. All of them.
Yeah, true.
At one point or another. I'm sure the cameraman is probably doing that, miming that lip sync at some point.
There was a lot of smoking indoors in those days, so it could have just been that.
There's another line which is mixing with the wrong boys, playing with the wrong toys.
Well, got to be careful playing with the wrong toys.
Ollie, you were talking about you wanted to go on to Ray of Sunshine, I believe.
Yeah. Lots of more of a dancing thing, isn't it? It's like he's got rhythm in his heart. You know, I think you should probably see his GP about that. It's probably not good for you.
Yeah,
an unusual rhythm in your heart.
So true. So true.
What did you think? What do you think of it? It's again nice and poppy, isn't it? Nice, you know.
It's really
tune.
Yeah, again, really bossy.
Yeah, like, that's true.
High maintenance gay nonsense.
Yes.
Because it's first of all, it's like turn the music up. So he's already just firing imperatives at people. Like so rude. No wonder his parents are fed up with him.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like turn the music up. I'm like, is the stereo on the blink again?
Yeah.
And just like move it, baby. Like, okay, what if I don't want to move it? Do you know what I mean? Rude.
Yeah.
Can't you see I'm ready to dance? Well, I'm not the center of your universe.
Yeah, maybe I'm not looking at you.
Exactly. He's a bit on the edge because he's going on it like, can't you see I'm ready to dance? And then he's like, yeah, but without this beat, my life would fall apart.
That's dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah, that doesn't strike me as a sort of person that's particularly stable. You know,
It doesn't. It's like, come on. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Did you listen to the hidden track?
No. What was the hidden track?
Oh, you didn't hear it?
What was the hidden track?
At the very end of the album, there's a hidden track.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, I missed this.
On a rinky-dink piano.
No, I did hear that. Sorry, I did hear that. Yeah.
It sounds like I'm sure there was a song for the snooker, which was quite similar.
Yeah, it's like the old vaudeville type stuff, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it is. Like a whole, yeah.
So it's like a rinky-dink piano player that gets hit and lets out this noise of anguish, like. Why?
Yeah, I think there is an explanation for that. Maybe they're trying to say they've killed music. I'm a bit confused.
I don't know.
They've killed vaudeville.
Why hide it?
Why hide it? Well, because it's pointless.
Could it be a metaphor for George's sexuality?
Maybe, because I read as well that Andrew Ridgeley had said that George Michael came out to him while they were filming Club Tropicana.
Well, of course he did. I mean, they were probably in bed already by then anyway. No,
Andrew Ridgeley's not. Has not come out, has he? He's not gay.
But he must have done something. Next song, Love Machine.
Love Machine, yeah.
Which is a cover.
Oh, that does make sense. I've heard of Love Machine before. Who did that?
No idea. No idea.
No, okay, no one important, basically.
Well, somebody from the 70s, but it's a shame because it's a good song.
It is.
I'm just a love machine, and I won't work for nobody, not anybody.
Yeah, nobody but you. Yeah, but. So, can we just establish now? What do we think? Top or bottom? While we're asking the important questions.
I think George is definitely the bottom.
Yes, and given this song and the Love Machine connotations, I feel that he's a power bottom.
Yes.
Go on. Are you about to do the line about the hugging and the kissing?
Yeah.
Can you just say what that line is? Because I think I got confused in the last line.
He says, "I'm just a love machine. Hey, baby, a hugging, kissing fiend."
Fiend. So I thought he said feet. I thought he said hugging and kissing feet. What's the fits like a glove thing? I mean, that sounded like a fisting situation against me.
In fact, that's exactly what I wrote down. Was great minds think alike.
That's it. Great mind think of fisting.
Right, I've got one. I've got one for you here, Ollie. Right?
Yeah.
Bear with me. It's a bit long, but
okay.
I'll try my best to do it justice here. So it goes, I think it's high time you knew whenever I think of you, my mind blows a fuse, baby. When I look in your eyes, my meter starts to rise and I become confused. My voltage regulator cools when I'm sitting next to you. Electricity starts to flow and my indicator starts to glow. Woo! Now, wouldn't it just have been easier to say, I am a microwave?
But you know, you referred to the China thing. You know, this song is on. Is that there is a video of them doing this song in China in 1984. So they don't. Some of them don't look very impressed in the audience. I feel like some of them have been brought to this concert, not really knowing what it is. I don't know. The Communist Party maybe gave out, winning tickets to people, and or some people from the party have come along, not really understanding.
Well, weren't they like the first Western pop group to go to China?
Maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them.
Why not? Why wouldn't you put it past them?
Well, now you mentioned about the Great Wall. I mean, I thought the Great Wall was supposed to keep the Mongols out, but maybe it was supposed to keep Wham out, but it's not succeeded. They obviously couldn't, however big that wall was, it's not gonna stop Wham. Exclamation mark, is it? Coming to China.
Well, if they can break down a door, I mean,
they can get on a wall.
Exactly,
no
they can
question.
easily fire a catapult at the Great Wall of China.
Definitely,
especially they are bad boys, really.
Yeah, they are definitely.
Apparently, in hindsight, George thought that they looked terrible in Wham. I mean, do you think he was right?
I guess so, but I think at the time it looks as it looks. I don't think they look out of place necessarily. Although when some of the videos you see them with people in real life and on the streets of London, it does look a bit weird.
Yeah, are you talking about the one where they go down the job centre?
I am. We're about to get on to that. So I don't want to jump straight ahead to that, but that is strange.
Yeah. My take on it was basically they look pretty good in shorts and Speedos. And I thought at this point, what's the point in doing anything else? Just do that.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. They both looked probably at their supreme in Club Tropicana, to be fair, just kind of on the beach, chilling out in the pool.
I don't really get the bit where George is in the Speedos sitting on a rock, staring out to the sea.
Especially as in the song, it says the only thing that's missing is the sea. He's staring literally at the sea. Yet
more complaining and diva behavior.
Very strange.
Yeah, I think they just need to do that. They should do without all the arty stuff.
Yeah.
And just stick to what they know.
Yeah, I agree. So go on. Wham bam, I am a man. Apparently.
Yeah, I was thinking, Ollie, because I know you, because I know you so well. I thought you could maybe do it with loads of passion and drive. That first line.
Maybe that's a different Ollie, but wham bam, I am a man. Does that work?
Yeah, I mean for the suicidal contingent, yeah.
That's fine. That's who I'm going for. Yeah, it's a good start. Do you choose to cruise? It's an interesting line, isn't it? I mean, he did choose to cruise.
Well, he did. I don't know. I always thought cruising was something you did in sort of leather chaps.
Well, he was not too far away from that.
Yeah. Or like what I'm trying to say is if you were going to go out and cruise, do it properly.
Yeah, that's true. Rather than down the job centre, which this video seems to be about.
God, you never know what you're going to pick up at the job centre. God, you
not a job in the 80s.
Yeah. So. Pick up some people that look like they've been in train spotting.
I think the only job you're going to get down there is probably a blowjob, which I'm sure he may have got.
Yeah. Where? Outside?
At the job centre.
In the queue?
Perhaps in the bathroom.
Good Lord. Do you enjoy what you do?
Do you
If
enjoy
not, just stop. Don't stay there and rot.
I guess that's nice, isn't it? It's like if you've got a dead end job, don't just leave it. I mean, I don't know how you're gonna live or pay a mortgage or anything, but it's very very empowering if you're unhappy in your job, which is basically what it's about.
Yeah, I know that he's trying to give advice and stuff, but if he said that to me, I would be a bit miffed.
Potentially. I mean, it's still more useful advice than anyone would ever get from their school counselor, jobs counselor, one of those useless people that you would go and speak to and get you to fill out like a computer program of nonsense. And then they'd be like, yeah, you should be a tree surgeon or something. It's like, what's this
that never happened to me.
Really? Oh, well, I didn't
No.
I don't remember tree surgeon. Like I had some kind of nonsense, like put in the computer and it's like, what is this supposed to tell me? Like yes, no answers in like a Commodore 64. It's like it doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. You were so lucky. You were so lucky growing up where you did. In Scotland, they just didn't have any cards on the wall at all. Just somebody's chewing gum. That's it. Hey, everybody, take a look at me. More attention seeking.
No, agreed. Yeah.
I've got street credibility.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah, but in the gay village, not in mean streets.
Yeah, Old Compton Street, yes.
Yeah.
Not down Brinkston Road, maybe not.
No, you don't want to be down there blowing your own trumpet. So then he goes on, he says, and I said, I don't need you. So you don't approve? Well, who asked you to?
It's all right. Yes, okay, calm down.
Yeah, keep your hair on.
Aggressive again. Aggressive.
I mean, probably not. People are not that bothered.
No, they're just trying to sign on most of the time.
Yeah, or just
going on the line, sitting at them.
Or just get down the pub for like a game of darts.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, actually, Andrew Ridgely's with his parents in this one, and he seems to be dragging him away from his very boring parents.
Question. How necessary was it to prance around in ill-fitting terry toweling tracksuit tops and ill-fitting shorts, do you think, Ollie, during the time of Wham?
I have to say, growing up in the 80s, I don't remember it was that appropriate. I mean, I think it really depends on the context. I think certainly if you're on TV, it might be okay. But generally in the streets, not sure. Not sure I saw a lot of that. Quite cold as well. Quite cold in the 80s. So probably not the best idea. Not unless you want to get pneumonia, of course.
Things are really different nowadays, I think, because if I think like about my hometown in Scotland, all the bars were like something out of the Sweeney. And, if you went in the pool room, there was a really, really high risk that you would be beaten to death with a snooker cue, which is totally different now. Everything's like a lounge and people are civilized and dressed like their kids.
Yeah.
Brush shoulders with the stars where strangers take you by the hand and welcome you to Wonderland from beneath their Panamas. Do.
Well, did you see the guy in the video had a Panama hat on as he comes in, who I think, we may have discussed this before, but he was particularly Borat-ish in his look.
Yeah.
Or Village People, depending on which way you want to look at it.
Are you talking about the barman with the sort of Mexican barman?
Yes, he was there when they came in. He was behind the bar. I don't know what else he was doing, but yeah, no, definitely.
The way I sort of perceived it, I thought it was like a really crappy version of Studio 54 run by the Del Monte man.
And the two beards of Pepsi and Shirley. Is that right? Have I got the names right?
Pepsi and Shirley, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say, I mean, it could be anything. It could say Iron Brew and Carol. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. But,
Iron Brew and Carol.
I mean, we were coming up with stuff.
Yeah.
Tango and Cash. I don't know. Anything really.
Yeah.
Whatever the beers' names are. But yeah. But they're nice and all oiled up in the pool.
He says, all that's missing is the sea, and don't worry, you can suntan. It's because none of this is happening in Club Tropicana, in Greece or whatever it's supposed to be. It's because it's all happening in a tanning salon in Skegness.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, actually. That's the only way it does make sense.
I don't think they're very responsible, as we've already mentioned. I mean, I don't think they should be drinking and going in the pool for starters.
No.
and whatever else they're on, because they're on something. That's clear to me anyway. I would move on to Nothing Looks the Same in the Light.
All about One Night Stand from what I've got from that.
It's very stalkery, is what I would say. You know, the first line is, I watch you breathe. I cannot sleep. I touch your hair. I kiss your skin.
And then see another boy creep into your room.
Yes,
why is there another boy creeping in? Like, again, this album likes his boys. Lots of boys.
Boys or men?
I think it's just boys. If you look at the all the songs, they're all mentioning boys. Every song. Hey Boy in the Wham rap.
Do we need to go there?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's all boys, everything. He's talking about boys a lot.
Yeah,
it's very stalkery. I agree.
It's very stalkery. This idea that you're watching people breathe and touching their hair and kissing their skin while they're asleep.
And also, what hair? Is it their top hair or is it the pubic hair that they're flicking? I mean, is he flicking the pubic hair? I don't know if that's.
Oh God,
if that's right.
God knows what he's doing. I mean, probably his mullet is trying to find a mate.
Maybe I would say so. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then it says, and hope the morning sun won't wake you too soon, obviously, because he's doing taking Polaroids and stuff under the...
Yeah, well, all the drugs might have worn off by then. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it's suggesting there.
For when you wake and look at me, you never know. You just might see another boy who crept into your room.
Yeah.
It's at this point, I would call hotel security.
Definitely. Yeah, and I would ask them, why are people creeping into my room? I mean, I've got a lock on the door.
Exactly.
The door is closed.
I can imagine the scenario, though. Like, you just woke up.
Yeah.
Shitting yourself because George Michael's in your room with a cucumber up his arse. And then the door swings over and it swings open and it's security. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. I think like touching her pubes with his hands, trying to comb them or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. It's all about hairdressing.
Maybe. It also says danger in a stranger, which is very true. What's an HP bed? Is that in the lyrics?
It is.
What is an HP bed?
I've no idea. Is it
like
brown
sauce?
A
pencil. Is it like or a brown sauce? Is there brown sauce in the bed?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. HP bed. I thought this song is very anti marriage. He's basically saying, don't get married. You used to enjoy yourself when you're single and free. Like with me, basically, is what he was saying. So I think
George doesn't want anybody to get married.
Of course he doesn't.
It's so selfish.
He's very selfish.
Very selfish. Live and let live,
I think he's very jealous of whatever man is getting married here.
If we go into Young Guns,
let's go on to Young Guns.
Young Guns, which was
hey,
also
sucker.
Right. Hey, sucker. What
sucker.
the hell's got into you?
Sucker. Hey, sucker. It's different ways you can say that, isn't there? Different ways.
Trying to be American again. That's
you think so? You think that's what it is?
Here's an interesting one. A daddy by the time you're 21. If you're happy with a nappy, then you're in for fun.
Yeah.
He's got a thing against kids as well. It's not just the wives. It's like
definitely.
Is George out to destroy the family unit?
I think that's would be his ultimate desire.
Is this some sort of gay thing that we don't know about? Like stomp on the breeders.
I think what was happening was that men at the time were perhaps less out and more trying to commit to have straight relationships. And he's very happy about this. And he's trying to get the men to leave their wives and go and have a nice time with him, basically. That's what I think.
Couldn't that be also like kind of a lot of people's fantasy as well, to convert people and whatnot?
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, in this one, it sounds like he's already converted them, but they've decided to get away from him.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like much fun. If we had to rate this album out of albums from the 80s, what would you give it out of 10?
I would say it needs to be. I'm going to give it a 7 because let's face it. Even though the number of songs is limited, A couple of them, well, especially Club Tropicana, have stood the test of time and are continuously played, even up to this day of 2022. So you can't really argue with that. If a song lasts that long, you can't really argue, even if it is nonsense. So it can't be nonsense so much, you know. People enjoy it. If you were going to name yourself after a fizzy drink, what would it be?
Cremola foam.
Oh, that's pretty
remember
good.
That?
Oh,
did you even have that in England?
I haven't heard of that. No, what is that?
It was a bit like the sort of thing you might clean your bath with. It came in a tin, and it was some sort of frothy mixture that you added to. I can't remember if you added it to fizzy water or what you did. I don't remember, but it was repellent on many levels, but really got the scum off your bath. And kids were always forced to drink it, while in other households they had already, witnessed the awakening of American drinks like Coke and stuff. But if you were in a household where you couldn't get that, or you weren't allowed it or whatever, Mum would go, "What about the cremola foam?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, not the swamp water."
It sounds good. It sounds good.
It was so 70s.
Don't make it anymore, honestly.
Yeah. You can only drink it unless you can only drink it in an environment where your sofa is sort of orange and brown brocade.
Was there a spillage at the factory and it destroyed the factory because it was so acidic and just what happened? Eroded.
Didn't Chernobyl happen in the 80s?
Oh, see, it was a Chernobyl type thing.
Well, it was a big cover up. It was close. Yeah, it was really a cremola foam factory, and then it just spread over to Scotland, and English people were saved.
Oh, God! Always lucky. I think if I was going to choose one, I'd choose Dr. Pepper. Mainly because I don't think I'm going to get a qualification as a doctor or do a PhD. So I think that's the closest I can get. So I'd be Dr. Pepper.
Good call. To be fair, they're both pretty nasty.
They're both pretty nasty. Well, fizzy drinks are generally not the best, let's face it. I'm partial to a Diet Coke these days, but let's face it, it's not great for you.
At least yours was fizzy and came from America. Mine came from some of the darkest depths of Eastern Europe.
I'm sure you can still find it on the black market of the internet if you look hard enough.
On the dark net, yeah.
On the dark web, yes.
Yeah. With it, you could buy 200 grams of Coke at the same time as a mixer. Yeah. So I'm going to give Club Tropicana. I'm going to give it a 10.
Right. Oh wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
Wait a minute. I thought we were growing the album rather than just the song. We're doing the song as well.
We're doing the songs, my friend.
Okay, well,
do you need to backtrack here?
I do need to backtrack. I'll give it a 9. I won't give it a 10. I'll give it a 9 though.
Why are you doing that thing where you can't give it a 10?
Yeah, I just feel like a 10 is so holy and sanctimount.
Holy.
And also, if I go in too early of a 10, I think it's just
Yeah, Bad Boys. If we had to rate it.
Again, I think that's stood pretty much the test of time. People play that song. You hear that song every so often, not as much as Club Tropicana. Mm-hmm. So I'll give that one a 7.
A 7. Young Guns, go for it. What do you think?
4.
4. Oh, that's low on the scale.
We're getting down to the dregs of the album now, I feel, after those 2 songs, I've got to be honest with you. Young Guns, not convinced.
And what are you going to give the album out of 10?
Okay, well, Club Tropicana, there's no question.
Okay.
And I'll give it the whole album, considering there are a couple of Duff songs on there. I'm still going to be quite generous here, because Club Tropicana stood the test of time, as well as Bad Boys. I'll give it 8 out of 10.
Wow, not bad. Well, I'm going to go with Love Machine as my favorite one because it's funny.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot that one. That also, occasionally comes on.
Like when you hear that, don't you just want to do that? Like go.
I feel like the bowel movements have helped with that. That's what I feel when that happens.
And as an album, I'm going to give it a 6.
Because there are quite a few Duff songs on there.
No, just because there's better albums out there is my idea.
Better Wham albums.
as Wham albums go, I think it's the best one.
In between this and the best of.
Yeah. No, the final. That's laughable. This is almost as good as the Stone Roses, who I know are legendary and stuff like that. But they made this totally legendary album.
Yeah.
Then they made a pretty wishy-washy follow-up, which everyone was like, thought it was going to be the Second Coming and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which was called the Second Coming.
Yeah.
A little bit arrogant. Never mind. I don't want to get into it, right?
That's what I said about Jesus. Anyway, carry on.
Right. And then probably they did a best of, right? Well, Wham went one step further because they had, fantastic. And then they had, what was the second one called? Wham, Make It Big.
Make It Big.
And then they brought an album called The Final, which was basically all of one and two. And they added on singles.
Yeah.
And, those shitty 80s remixes. Like, did you buy 12 inches in the 80s or not?
Not really. I was too young to be buying albums, to be honest with you. So I didn't.
No fucking point whatsoever in buying it. It was just, they just added on, like that. And then occasionally we'd go, and that's it. And then you get to a point where the real song starts.
Right.
And you just think, God, you know what? I'm just going to cut that bit out of the record. Cut the surround bit out and just listen to the single.
Yeah.
Rubbish. You had to pay more for it and everything. So, Ollie, I think we'll just we'll wrap up there with Wham Fantastic. What do you think?
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, that was definitely a Wham. That was definitely Wham, bam, thank you. And let's definitely leave it where it should be left.
Well, thanks for joining us on RETROSAURUS. I've been Capri, Sun and Edith.
And I've been Lilts and Mildred.
Great. And we're the backing singers for Wham on their latest album, Fantastic. Woo! Woo!